This week I want to try something a little bit different, and I'm going to show you 3 outfits I would wear on a play date, all while telling you my experience of moving to a new country and making new mum friends. Let's get into it. We moved from Australia to Texas when my youngest was 3 months old and my eldest was 2.5. We moved over here for my husband's wallpaper business. So not only was I getting my head around having a newborn baby, but I was also learning to drive on the other side of the road and all the other big differences that come from being as an Australian in America. Part of that was not knowing a soul. We didn't know anyone. We got off the plane and didn't know anybody. So as being a mum with young kids, it can be really, really lonely. So I would go to the park, would spend my days at the park with my girls, and I just really decided that I had to put myself out there, that I was in a new country. It was, all really, really different, and I kind of had to just be really brave or it was going to be super lonely. So I would go to the park. We had a big Silverado truck when we first got here. So I would strap my newborn baby and my toddler into the back seat of this ginormous Silverado on the other side of the road. I would put the nearest park in Google Maps and off we'd head. I would then kind of just hang out at the park, not being a creeper or anything, but I found that everyone I encountered, all the mums were really friendly. I don't know if it's because I have an accent, that they were all really chatty, or I just hit the jackpot. But I just had to be brave, and if I met someone that I really clicked with, I had to be brave and say, I should get your number, we should catch up again, which is something I would never do at home. But I knew that if I didn't put myself out there, it was going to be super lonely. I've made so many beautiful friends along the way that I'm extremely grateful for. A big part of that though is these people don't know you, so they don't know who you were before you became a mum. They didn't know the Felicity pre-mum or pre-married, so they were getting to know you while you were navigating being in a new country with tiny little children. So I did put a lot of pressure on myself. I would always be really worried that my children were going to have a meltdown and I wouldn't be able to stop it, or that they were going to be rude or something like that. So I always put myself under a lot of pressure, and my body had obviously changed a lot. I'd had children, so wanting to feel good while putting myself out there and getting to know women, I found really, really hard because my body had changed. We moved over with a suitcase each, so I didn't have a lot of clothes. And so I find that if you can feel good in what you're wearing, putting yourself out there, especially when there are a lot of other factors, it can be a lot easier. So this is something that I would wear. I've just got my straight jeans. I've then popped a bit of tone on tone look, so the grey cardigan with the grey t-shirt, and then just a silver necklace. I find the kind of tonal look can look a little bit more effortlessly dressier. We kind of want to go for that, oh yeah, I woke up like this, yeah, I dress like this all the time kind of thing, while being comfortable, so you still run after your children but still feeling good. So then I've popped a ballet flat, just a denim ballet flat with the jeans. I'll swing it round so you can get a proper look. Here we are, long cozy cardigan, but I think still looks nice and smart. Then I've got the denim ballet flats with the denim jeans, so I've kind of gone a whole tone on tone look. It's because like I said, I feel like it just looks a little bit effortlessly dressier and styled. So we've got the t-shirt tucked into the jeans, so we've got the waist defined, so even though we've got the long cardigan on, we still don't look and feel completely swamped. Okay. I think as mums, I personally, and I think a lot of other mums I know, we need to be as kind to ourselves as we are to other mums. So if someone was to come for a play date to my house and their children made a great mess or had a meltdown or put crumbs everywhere or, I don't know, broke something, whatever, I wouldn't care. I wouldn't care. I'm just happy to have people to come over, have mums to come over and talk to and play with my little girls. Whereas if I would go to someone's house, especially if I was just getting to know them, and my children, I don't know, did something wrong, or I thought that they were being a little bit impolite, or that I thought that I wasn't on my A game because I had baby brain and I had been up all night and I was exhausted and I could barely string a sentence together. But then you want that human interaction. So you push yourself to get out, but then you get there and you are just a mess, so you can barely string a sentence together. So then I'd get in the car and all the way home I would just beat myself up, like, oh, you came across so ridiculous, or you look like that your children are all over the place, or whatever it may be. But if that was a woman in my home, I just want to give her a hug. I completely understand. So I think we need to be kinder on ourselves, as though as we are with other mums, is what I'm trying to get at. So that was something that I also kind of, had to navigate, was learning to go easy on myself. And Rome wasn't built in a day, and I wasn't going to have this huge circle of friends and support and friends for my little girls, within the first week. And I was being so grateful for every friend that I've made and that I've met, because I don't work for a business. My husband has his own business. So everyone that we've met has had to be by putting ourselves out there. So I am really grateful and proud for the friends that I have got. But it's hard and it's a lot of pressure. So I think I'm going to wear these. I find that a striped cardigan, or just a stripe, makes me feel a little bit more put together. And then the white kind of gives it that crisp feel, whilst also being comfortable and not too dressy. So I'll flip you around and show you the outfit. Here we have it, just really casual. We've got the red sneaker just to add a little bit of colour, and it just, comfy, casual. I think the gold buttons just give it a little bit more of a dressier look, and the higher neck white, but I still feel casual and comfortable enough to be at the park or, on a play date or running around with my kids, but I still feel confident. Okay, let's go. Okay, so lastly, I've got tracksuit bottoms and a stripy tee, because I find for those times when you're exhausted or you've been up all night, you want to be comfortable, but you still want to feel good. So I made this beautiful friend at the Botanical Gardens. My little girl ran up to her little girl and started talking. So then we exchanged numbers. She's actually South African. She's the most beautiful soul. We would catch up every Tuesday, and she's so kind, and just really, if I ever needed anything, I know that she would be there. But then they moved away, which was so sad, and it really was my little girl's kind of only true constant friend. So I remember she moved away. They moved back to South Africa, and I might do that up. And then a couple of months later, it was Liv's birthday, and she had no little friends to invite to her third, fourth birthday. We hadn't put her in like a preschool or anything, and I just remember her being so sad and me feeling absolutely heartbroken. It makes me want to cry now. And so not long after that, we were like, we need to get her into a preschool. She needs to meet some little friends. And so we got her in halfway through last year. And we picked her up from school on her first day, and I was so excited for her to, make some little friends, because it's a big responsibility moving somewhere new and, trying to make little friends have your children around other little people, especially if they're not at school yet. So I was just so relieved she was going to be at school and she was going to have friends. And I remember picking her up from her first day of school, and I was like, oh, "How was it, sweetheart? And, you know, how?" And she was like, "Oh, it was fun, Mum." I said, "Did you have, you know, who did you play with?" And she said, "Oh, no one." And my heart just sank. And I said, "What do you mean?" And she said, "Oh, they just all said, we don't like Olivia," and ran off on her. And I was like, "Oh, don't cry, keep it together." I said, "What did you do, darling?" And she said, "I just ran back to the classroom upset." And I was like, "Oh, Liv." She said, "It's okay, Mama. I don't mind playing by myself." Now that was absolutely gut-wrenching. That wanted me to pack up my bat and ball and move back to Australia. I was like, what have we done? We've moved them away. They've got no little friends around them. But fast forward, I think a month, and she was just in her groove. And she's such a brave little girl that she just kept going, and she was still excited for school. But that's another thing, school drop off. I feel like I can't just rock up in my dags. It's quite, with some people it seems like quite the fashion show, and I find that a little bit unfair and a little bit intimidating. And you know, like I know how to dress to make myself feel good, and I just think the poor women that don't, and that would get in the car after school drop off and just feel like crap. So, you know, that's another thing that I wasn't expecting to navigate. But this is kind of like a school drop-off park outfit, which I will swing around and show you. Here we have this outfit swung around. These are tracksuit bottoms I got from Zara. They're actually a nice, beautiful, thick fabric. They're clean. They don't have any logo or writing or pattern on them, which I like. And then they have this little slip detail at the side. So because of the fabric, they just feel a little bit dressier. So I quite like them. When I've got something relaxed on like a tracksuit bottom and I'm not just cruising around at home, I like to put something a little bit more structured with it. So I've got the shirt. I did have it open with the stripe underneath it, but it just didn't feel really me. But if it is you, this is also another option, just layering. So you've still kind of got the structure of the shirt and the collar, but then it's a little bit more relaxed for all my natural style personalities out there. A little bit more relaxed just over the t-shirt as opposed to all done up. And then this green puffer jacket that I got 2 winters ago. I love it because I love the colour, but I also like the detailing in it that defines the waist even when you've got something big and bulky on, and just the way that it's shaped, it is more flattering than swamping. Anyway, they are my outfits. I wanted to try something a little bit different this time. I want you to get to know me a little bit more and make these videos, and you can even just get one tip from all my rambling. Then it makes me feel amazing. So I hope you've liked this video, and if you'd like to hear more rambles, let me know. Or if you don't and you just want me to get straight to the point with the outfits, also let me know. I'm here to help. Bye guys.